Today was class number 8. Our instructor, Zach, he said elevate with 8. So class number 8, the elevator sweep, and it was fantastic. But let me tell you what I learned today. Back at my old Keep Showing Up University, my private lesson instructor, Greg used to catch me with this sweep all the time. I called it the Greg sweep. I called it the Greg sweep because Greg, what he would do is he would elongate himself, elongate me, and in stretching me out, I was automatically just flopped on my back like a pancake. And I hated it because I would know it was coming, I would feel it coming, and next thing you know, he was on top. And with posture and with practice, I was able to kind of defend the Greg sweep, but I now understand the Greg sweep so much more. Today with my training partner, Marvin, we were doing the neck hug variation of the elevator sweep. And if you know the move and you've been to the class before, they call it like the GQ pose where you stretch out and you're kind of laying there like Burt Reynolds, right? But when you stretch and you elongate your body, the person, the bad guy, is pretty much already on their side, almost already on their back, which is exactly what Greg used to do to me. He would grab a lapel, he'd have a sleeve. What he would do is he would brace his foot against my knee and he would slowly elongate. He would open the book, as Hitter says, and he would elongate and stretch himself out, which of course would stretch me out. And since he had my collar, and sometimes he would even do the old head trap, he would elongate and boom, there I was, flopping over like a freaking pancake. And so today when I was training with my training partner Marvin, I was like, yo, this feels like the old Greg sweep. And I'm like, ding, this is the Greg sweep. It's a little bit different, but Greg used to get me all the time. So now I understand in my old Keep Showing Up University, my instructor Greg, when he showed me the Greg sweep, it was really a variation of the elevator sweep, which is so nice and so easy because, well, let me back up. When I was at my old Keep Showing Up University, I learned the scissor sweep. And the scissor sweep is a fantastic move. However, it is difficult to execute when everybody and their cousin knows it's coming. One of the first things we learned in terms of sweeps at my old Keep Showing Up was the scissor sweep. If you looked at their curriculum, which they had a curriculum, didn't always follow it, but they had a curriculum, was the freaking scissor sweep. And I learned how to load the person up and da-da-da-da-da. But when everybody in the room knows the scissor sweep, when everybody in the room knows the indicators and can feel when it's coming, you don't hit the scissor sweep very often. And so what I learned is when I would roll with Greg, when I would roll with other people, they would almost always hit me with the different sweep. Very rarely did the scissor sweep work because everybody kind of knew what to look for. And so Greg would hit me with this thing that I called the Greg sweep. And of course, every once in a while, somebody got the dummy sweep or some crazy ninja stuff, the flower sweep or whatever. That was rare, but you get the idea. The Greg sweep was fantastic because if I would ever overcommit, bring my weight too far forward, he would do that whole elevator sweep variation where he would elongate his body, elongate me, and I had no question, no opportunity but to pancake flippity flop. And so just today was nice because I got to understand and got to see that the Greg sweep is really just the neck hug variation, or even a variation of the neck hug variation of the elevator sweep. So there are certain things that I learned in rolling and defending and just asking questions like, hey man, what was that? How did that work? Because I started using the Greg sweep. I started trying the Greg sweep and I caught some people with the Greg sweep every once in a while. But now it's like that old Batman movie quote, I've given a name to my pain. I understand what it is, what it's called, and how to do it better than ever because Gracie University gave me a name, gave me the steps, gave me the technique. And so Greg did the same thing. He showed me his way, but I feel like the Gracie University showed me the way that works for everyone. Like, that's the thing about Gracie University. It's kind of hard to mess this stuff up. If you do every class 3 times, it's almost idiot-proof. And I don't say that to insult anybody who maybe, I don't say that to insult anybody who maybe didn't pass their test or who feels like they're struggling. But I guarantee that if you come to class 3 times and you do this technique 3 times, you'll start to feel like you got it. Day 1, you're probably feeling kind of lost. Day 2, it's like hearing a song on the radio that you heard before, but maybe you don't know all the words. Maybe you know the chorus, you can hum along a little bit. By day 3, you know the chorus, and you can sing the chorus along with the radio. And by day 4, after reflex development, whatever, you probably know all the words. So at this point, being my 3rd time singing the class, I know the chorus, but I think I know most of the lyrics too because of my old pal Greg. So Greg, if you're watching this, and I know you probably aren't, I miss you, I love you, and thank you for introducing me to the elevator sweep a long freaking time ago, even though I called it the Greg sweep. And speaking of friends and people to thank, guess who I ran into today? One of my subscriber friends, a guy in the comments, his name is Julian. He's commented a few times, and I ran into him today at Gracie University. Now, Julian, he owns a CTC up in San Jose, so he comes down here every once in a while to train and get some private lessons. And so I got to run into him, and I got a picture of him, which I put right here. So Julian and I got a quick picture, got to talk a little bit. He's obviously doing well in San Jose, and one of these days I'm going to go up there and train with him. I'm probably going to wait until after I pass my test so I can roll with them, but it's nice meeting people in real life that I met on screen and on social media and on YouTube, so that was nice. And of course, getting my third stripe was nice as well. You probably saw the thumbnail, so you know what happened, and I'm one step closer to my goal. So I think that's enough rambling for today. If you have any questions, comments, feelings, thoughts, and opinions, put them down in the comments. You can hit me up on social media at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. And you know you got to do 3 things. You got to stay focused, you got to stay positive, and you always have to stay vigilant. See you next time.